Hello everyone, this is Dr. Mommy coming back to you again with another video. As you can see from the notepad that I have focused in the frame today, we are going to be discussing net worth. Net worth is one of those terms that we don't really talk about loosely or talk about a lot. So today I am going to give you an overview of what net worth is and actually how it works, and also how you can calculate your own net worth. I want to start by apologizing because I do have a smoke detector that has a low battery, so you will hear beeping from time to time. So I want to apologize for that. Now, we're going to dive right in. As you all know, I love to write. Therefore, I am going to write out my explanation. Now, when I think of net worth, basically, your net worth is the amount that you owe. The amount you owe versus the amount you own. Okay, so let's let that soak in for a minute. These two numbers, the amount that you owe versus the amount that you own, is going to determine your net worth. Okay, your net worth. Now, you may have heard some other people say your liabilities versus your assets. Same concept. Liabilities is the things that you owe money on, and assets are those things that you do not owe money on, those items that you own. Okay, let's see. Another term that we could probably use loosely is debt or debts versus non-debts, or things that you do not have to pay out, or amounts that you don't have to pay out. So I'm just kind of throwing some terms around, and you can choose how you want, or what terminology you want to use, what you think you can understand best, the terms that you feel will stick with you mentally as you continue to increase or improve your finances as well as your net worth. Now, this term, net worth, can either be positive or negative. So it just depends. Once we get down to the bottom line and we calculate the total number of liabilities or debts that you have versus the assets or the items and money that you own or that you have in your possession, then that's going to determine your net worth. I am hoping that your net worth is positive, because that is what we're shooting for. We're shooting to have a positive net worth, okay? Now, if your net worth is negative, then I can also give you a few pointers on what you need to do in order to rectify that situation. All right, now here we go. Let's get this ball rolling. Okay, we're gonna make a little line straight down the center here of the paper. Hopefully we won't have to go too far down here. We'll stop it here so that hopefully we can put our totals. Hope I'm still in frame. We can put our totals down at the bottom, so you can actually, once we calculate, you can see what the net worth is, okay? Now, this is going to be an example of how you can calculate your net worth. Okay, now let's just say that you have, let's name some items that you would owe monies toward. Let's say you have a mortgage. Most people have a mortgage or some form of housing. Okay, and we're going to say that you owe $200,000 on your mortgage. Okay, you have a car note and you still owe $10,000 on your car. Okay, some other items. Let's see, credit cards. Let's just put a round figure in there of $5,000. Okay, these are things that you still owe money toward. Let's put in a personal loan. Okay, let's say that that is about $5,000. Remember, these are, so what you need to do over here in this liabilities or debts column, you need to list every single item that you owe money on. Or there may be people that you owe money to. So whatever monies that you owe out in whatever formats, you need to list them on this side of your page or in your debts or liabilities column. Okay? And like I said, we can think of more items that people, owe money out for, but whatever it is, if you have any other debts or expenses. Now, remember, when we're talking about net worth, we're not talking about those reoccurring expenses, like, for example, your utilities, your insurance. Those are items that you're going to consistently have to pay over and over, month after month. They will never go away until you die. Okay, so those are not items that we're going to list over here. Okay, let's see. Maybe, let's say a cell phone. We can put cell phone down here under expenses. And you still owe $1,000 on your cell phone. So you get the gist of what we got going on over here. Now, let's go over to the assets or non-debts. You may have items like a retirement plan or 401k. All right. And let's say that you have $100,000 in your 401k. Okay. Let's see some other items that you have. Now, you can still have a mortgage, but you can have some equity in your home. So let's say that you have equity in your home that totals $50,000. Okay. Now, and it can be the same thing with your car payment. Let's say that your car is valued at $30,000, but you only owe $10,000 on it. So the value of the car is $30,000. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is, if you were to sell these items, if you were to sell the car today, it will be valued at $30,000. Therefore, you would sell it for $30,000, pay off the $10,000 balance, and you should clear $20,000. Okay. Now, let's see. We got to go back up here with the equity. Yes, we do have $50,000 worth of equity in our home, but the value of the home, we always have to go by values here because that is what determines your net worth. Value of the home is, of course, $250,000. Because in order for you to have equity in it of $50,000, you still owe $200,000 on it. That means the value of your home is $250,000. Okay, let's see. What are some other assets that we could have? You have a mortgage, you have a car, you have a retirement plan. Let's just say savings account, just money's in the bank. So let's say your savings account has $30,000 in it. This is just hard, cold cash, $30,000 in your savings account in the bank. Okay. Let's see, what are some other things that could have value or that you own? Can name anything. It's pretty much anything that you could sell that you deem is of value. So, we can go all the way down to vacuum cleaners. There are some really expensive vacuum cleaners. Let's give it a value of $2,000. Okay? So now, what we have to do is we're going to add up the debts column and we're going to add up the assets column. And once we subtract the two columns, that should give us our net worth. Of course, I did not bring my calculator in here. So we're going to go the old school way and we're going to use pen and paper. So the mortgage is $200,000 plus the car note at $10,000. So we know that that is $210,000 right there. Check those two off. Then we have the credit card, which is another $5,000. So that is $215,000. You have a personal loan. Remember, we're adding up all your debts right now. So that is going to come to $220,000. And then your last debt is your cell phone bill at $1,000, which gives us a whopping total of $221,000. So your debts or your liabilities total $221,000. Okay? Now, let's go over to the happy column, which is what I want to call it, the things that you own or your assets. And we're going to do the same thing we did to the debt column. We're going to add everything up. So we have the retirement plan at $100,000. We have the value of the home at the value of the home is $250,000, but since you only, well, you know what? Let's see. How do we need to do that? I'm starting to try and confuse myself here. Okay. We're going to add up. We want to add up everything that we own. Okay, so see, now that I'm talking through it, I can see where I was starting to make a mistake. The portion of the house that you own is the $50,000 because that is the amount of equity that you have acquired or accrued in the home. So that would be $50,000. So we will add that $50,000 to your 401k. So we have $150,000 so far. Okay. And the value of the car is $30,000, but remember you still owe 10, so you're clearing $20,000. Okay. So right now you own $20,000 worth of car, if you just wanted to look at it like that. That would probably be an easier way to look at it because, see, remember when you still have debt on an item that has value, then you have to subtract the amount you owe from the amount of the value, the total value. So if the total value is $30,000, we subtract how much we still owe, which is $10,000. That's going to give us the $20,000 in car that we own. Okay, let's go down to our savings account. We're going to add in another $30,000. That's going to give us $200,000 so far. And then, of course, your vacuum cleaner at $2,000. All right. So you can have a total in assets of $202,000. Okay, so your assets are $202,000. Now remember, when I said in order to get your net worth, you have to subtract everything that you owe from everything that you own. So we're going to take these two numbers and we're going to have $221,000, which is what we owe, minus our assets of $202,000. That gives us a total of let's see, what's that? 9,1. Okay, so $19,000. But remember, it's $19,000 to the column that has the largest total. So therefore, the $19,000 will be placed in this column, right? So remember, if there's a number left in this column, then that means that your net worth is negative that amount. Okay? So I'm going to recap one more time. Of course, when you're doing your net worth, you have to subtract the amount you owe from the amount that you own. Okay? Regardless of which number is higher, you have to subtract them. Okay? So now, since the debt total of $221,000 is higher than the assets column, or the amount of money you own, or the amount of assets and things that you own, we have to subtract. Therefore, giving the 221 the positive sign. 221,000 minus, these are your debts, minus what you own. 221,000 minus 202,000 gives you $19,000. Okay, so basically what we're saying is this person's net worth is a negative $19,000. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, if this person chooses to try and sell or use all the assets in this column to pay off all the liabilities in this column, they will still be upside down, or they will still owe money. So basically, if I sold my vacuum cleaner, or I sold a vacuum cleaner and decided to use it to help pay down this $221,000. And then I took all the money out of my savings account, used it to pay down the $221,000. Same thing, if I sell the car, use it to decrease this total. I sell the home, use it to decrease this total. And even if I empty out my $100,000 in my 401k and use it to try and satisfy this total, I will still be left owing $19,000. Therefore, this person's net worth at the moment is $19,000. Now remember, as you continue to pay down on your debt column, this side goes up. Because just think, let's just say that we get rid of the $10,000 in the car payment category here. Then that means you no longer only have the $20,000. Remember, you had a $30,000 value minus this $10,000 that you owe, which made it $20,000. You no longer have $20,000. You now have $30,000 because you have eliminated that total. So what's going to happen is this side, which is your debts, are going to decrease by that $10,000 that you paid off, leaving you with $211,000 over here. But remember, it's going to increase over here. So you would add the $10,000 to your asset side, bringing you to $212,000. So right there, look at that. If you decide to just pay the car off, your net worth goes into the positive. So now we have the larger number over here on the asset side. So now if I were to subtract the $212,000 from the debt column, which is $211,000, we are left with $1,000. Okay? And see now, since this number is larger, of course, this $1,000 goes over into your assets column. And there you have it. You would have just that quick, if you decide to pay down that one debt, your net worth will become a positive number. You will end up with having $1,000 net worth. But that's what happens as it relates to how you calculate your net worth, how your net worth increases as you pay down your debt. That's why it is very wise and beneficial to pay down your debt so that this column can go up and this one can go down. So you want your debt column to go down and you want your assets to go up. And that's the way you play the game. That is the name of the game. Debts go down, assets go up, so that your net worth can become positive. Just like we did right here in this example. That's all I have today, YouTube. This is Dr. Mommy signing off, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.